The Sun-Skulled Guild in the border town of Orvin saw drifters and sells words every day, but the man who stepped through its iron doors that afternoon carried a silence colder than the desert wind. He walked to the recruitment counter, like a man who had never needed permission to enter any room. His face was a map of old violence, deep scars crossing his cheek and jaw, eyes the color of dead ash.
Name, and any prior contract experience.
He didn't speak. He pulled the collar of his dusty gray coat aside, revealing a faded black wolf brand burned into the side of his neck.
That mark. No, it can't be. The wolves were exterminated 5 years ago. Every one of them.
That mark died with the wolves 5 years ago.
The lobby went silent as a grave. Even the fire in the hearth seemed to dim. The clerk's pen clattered to the floor. She didn't pick it up. She didn't breathe. The last survivor of the continent's most feared mercenary band had walked back into the guild, and no one in that room knew what he would do next. 5 years earlier, the Black Wolves were not a memory. They were the fire that consumed armies. 12 warriors who could end a war with a single contract. Their black coats and the wolf emblem were feared across 4 kingdoms. They moved like a single shadow, but in the Red Pass, the 4 kings made their choice. The wolves had become too dangerous to leave alive. Arrows fell like rain. No one had ever turned on the wolves before. They never saw the betrayal coming.
Fall back. But there is no back. They're all dying.
Takeshi crawled through mud and blood, reaching for a fallen friend whose eyes already stared at nothing. The rain washed the blood from his face, but not the memory.
I will find every one of them. 11 names, 11 graves, no mercy.
In a dark hideout months later, he carved those 11 names into a parchment. The conspirators who gave the order.
They think the wolves are dead, but I am still here, and I am coming for them.
The last wolf had counted his prey, and now, 5 years later, he had returned to the guild to begin the hunt. In a corner of the dusty corner inn, Takeshi sat and drew his black blade across a whetstone. Each scrape was a reminder.
The guild system is my weapon now. No outlaw can walk into a lord's estate, but a contractor carrying a scroll can.
He returned to the guild, his coat still carrying the dust of the road, and stood before the job board.
That one? It's an escort mission. Pays low, route goes through Vinar Pass. Nobody takes jobs through there. I'll take it.
He signed the guild form without reading the fine print. The name on the contract didn't matter. Only the road it opened.
Vinar Pass. The first name on my list is a merchant whose estate lies half a day's ride from there. This contract puts me in striking distance.
He tucked the contract scroll into his coat and left the guild without a backward glance. On the road, the sun beat down. The dust clung to his coat like a shroud. The weight of his sword was a familiar comfort. The last wolf was hunting now. His prey did not know it yet. General Voss had retired to his estate with a chest full of war medals and a belly full of arrogance. He never imagined the last black wolf would come for him.
Who are you? Get out of my home before I have you hanged.
He doesn't recognize me. Good.
The general's ceremonial sword was still on its stand when Takeshi's blade opened his throat. He died with a confused snarl. He ransacked the room, scattered coins, broke a window. Bandits would be blamed for the murder of a retired general. 3 days later, Takeshi walked back into the guild and handed over a signed delivery receipt. His contract was complete.
You actually made it through Vinar Pass? Not a scratch. You are either very lucky or very deadly. 1 down. 10 names left. The system works better than I hoped.
The guild posted his success quietly. In the corner, a whisper grew. The new recruit was a ghost who didn't fail, and that ghost was already studying his next mark. The hunt had truly begun. Bishop Aldrich had hidden behind altars and scripture for 5 years, but his study held no sanctuary from the scarred man who appeared in the candlelit dark.
No, it can't be. The wolves are dead. You are dead.
He reeks of guilt like incense. Unlike Voss, This one won't fight.
The bishop fell to his knees before Takeshi could draw his blade.
I'll write it. I'll write everything. Just don't kill me.
The confession was smeared with tears and ink. The words, "I ordered the ambush of the Black Wolves," stood dark against the parchment.
You will live, but if I ever find you lied, I will come back.
Aldrich collapsed in a heap of silk and grief. As Takeshi walked out, the confession tucked inside his coat.
2 down. He confessed. The guilty can choose. The defiant will not.
A rule was forming in the ghost's code. Confession bought life. Denial would buy only the edge of his blade. Weeks blurred into a rhythm of contracts, roads, and blood. The ghost was never seen coming twice. A corrupt noble drew his sword in panic. Takeshi's blade ended the fight before it began. Crippled general, too proud to kneel, spat at the offer of confession. He died with his pride and his fists, but 2 merchants, brothers grown rich off the wolves' contracts, broke when Takeshi gave them paper and quill. They wrote their confessions with trembling hands. He tucked both confessions into his coat. The rule held. The penitent lived.
3 confessed. 3 died. 6 names crossed. 5 remain. The system holds. Every contract you take is a success. You are either blessed or the coldest blade this guild has ever seen.
They call him the Ghost Contractor now. He disappears, and bodies turn up, but no one can prove a thing.
The legend of the ghost contractor spread through the guild like smoke, and behind it, the last wolf moved toward his next prey. Investigator Rowan pinned a map across his office wall. Every completed contract, every dead noble. The red thread formed a spider's web with the new recruit at its center.
6 contracts, 6 unnatural deaths. This ghost isn't lucky. He's hunting. But who are these people really?
Rowan found Takeshi alone at the counter, returning another flawless contract. The investigator's presence drew a cold stillness.
Every route you take crosses a dead man's last step. That's not coincidence. Contractor. So tell me who sent you. A contract sends me. Nothing more. Nothing more? Then why do the dead all share one thing? A connection to a massacre 5 years ago.
He's close, but he has no proof.
Takeshi said nothing. The silence between them grew heavier than any accusation. Rowan's pen trembled without another word. The investigator closed his notebook and walked away. The threat was not gone. It was only waiting.
The noose is tightening. I need to finish before the guild closes in.
The contract led to the royal palace. No sensible mercenary would take it. Takeshi took it without hesitation. The last name on his list.
Queen Isadora, the 11th conspirator. What face does a queen wear when she gives the order to slaughter?
He had seen her portrait once, in a diplomatic scroll. Soft eyes, sorrowful, not the eyes of a killer.
Soft eyes lie. The paper doesn't. I will see her confession in ink.
He crossed the border into Varane. The white spires of the palace crowned the hills. His pace never slowed.
If she confesses, she lives. If she denies, the last blood will be royal.
The road to the palace was lined with gardens, but Takeshi saw only the distance to his goal.
The guild suspects. Rowan's thread is tightening. I have days, maybe hours, before they act.
He drew his hood low and walked toward the palace gates. The last wolf was at the door of his final prey. Takeshi slipped past the palace guards like a ghost. Stone corridors swallowed his footsteps until he reached the queen's private study. She was alone. The queen sat at her desk, hands folded as if expecting him. No fear touched her face.
She wasn't startled. She knew I was coming.
You are the last black wolf. I knew you would come. I have been waiting for 5 years.
She did not call for guards. She did not tremble. Instead, she opened a drawer and withdrew a sealed scroll.
My confession. I wrote it the night the wolves fell. It has been ready since the day of the Red Pass.
No fight. No denial. She wants me to take this. Something is very wrong.
He broke the seal and read. Her signature was already there, below words that admitted ordering the ambush of the Black Wolves. She knelt, lowering her head. The crown clinked softly on the stone.
She isn't begging. She is offering herself. But a confession this easy hides a deeper truth, but my confession is not the full truth. The true originator of the coalition was not one of us. It was someone you know, Takeshi, someone who loved you. Your brother, Sho.
The name cut deeper than any blade. In a moonlit field of his memory, two boys ran through tall grass, Takeshi and Sho laughing. Sho had been his shadow, his student. A gentle boy who dreamed of a world without war.
Sho believed the Black Wolves prolonged endless war. He united the four kingdoms in secret. He gave the order at Red Pass. He thought you died that day. He disappeared, lost in his own grief, but he is alive.
Sho, dead for years. This can't be true. But her eyes don't lie. My brother gave the order to kill my family. My hunt isn't over. It's just begun.
He backed away from the queen. The confession crumpled in his fist. The 11th target was not the end. The last wolf's vengeance now had a new name, and it was his own blood.
Explain. All of it. Why would he doom his own brothers? He believed the wolves prolonged war for profit. Your contracts kept the wheel turning, never letting peace take root. He infiltrated the four kingdoms. Quietly, he gave them a single voice, a single plan.
He moved through the courts like a shadow, gathering the king's fear of the wolves into a blade aimed at Red Pass. The gentle boy, who read strategy books, had crafted the perfect betrayal.
He thought the slaughter would be the last, that sacrificing the wolves would save the continent.
He killed us to save the world. And then he vanished, leaving me to crawl out of the mud.
Where is he now? I don't know. After the Red Pass, he disappeared. The weight of what he did crushed him.
Takeshi's fists clenched. Without a word, he turned and left the queen still kneeling. The hunt now for his own blood. Old guild contacts and a queen's whisper led him north, into the frost-bitten peaks where Sho had buried his guilt.
He used to read me his books. One day, brother, the wars will end. The dreamer killed my family.
The path grew steeper, the air thinner. Each step felt like dragging a dead man's weight.
The wolves' old base is just ruins now. Moss and ghosts. I left a flower there before I came here.
Rain soaked the mountain. It washed nothing clean.
I buried them in my heart, but Sho buried them in the ground.
On the third day, the trees parted. A small cabin crouched against the rock, a thin line of smoke rising.
He's there. After 5 years, my brother is still breathing.
He drew his black blade. The steel did not tremble. The last wolf pushed open the cabin door and stepped into the dark.
I knew you'd come, Takeshi. 5 years I waited for this door to open. You knew. And you didn't run. After what you did, you sit here waiting for me. I didn't want you to die, brother. I never wanted any of you to die, but the wars had to end. The wolves weren't peacemakers. You were a business. Every contract you took paid for more blood. Peace never stood a chance, so you killed 12 men to save the world. You, a boy who never held a sword, decided who lived and who died.
Takeshi's fist slammed into the table, splitting the wood. The candle toppled, flame guttering.
I knew you would hate me. I accepted that. But the continent is quieter now. Fewer orphans, fewer burned villages. I would do it again.
He's not lying. He believes it. The boy who dreamed of peace became a monster to make it real.
I should cut you down right here. Give you the same mercy you gave them.
The blade hung in the air, trembling. Neither brother moved. The firelight cast their shadows against the wall like two wolves circling. Inside Takeshi's mind, a fire burned, not of anger, but of memory.
12 brothers who bled together. That night before Red Pass, Ren joked about opening a bakery. He died with that dream still in his chest. I held his hand while the light left his eyes.
But behind the laughter, Takeshi remembered the villages they raised, the war orphans hiding in the ruins.
Every contract you took paid for more blood. The cycle never ended because the wolves were its engine.
Did we prolong the suffering? Did our blades make us the villains of someone else's story?
The sword lowered an inch, the weight of 11 graves pressed on his arm.
If I kill him, what then? The graves won't empty. The wars might start again.
Grief and rage tangled into a knot too tight to cut. The last wolf stood frozen, vengeance and sorrow warring in his chest. The blade neither rose nor fell.
If killing me ends your pain, do it. But let my death be the last. Let no more blood spill for the wolves. The last, like the 11. He offers himself the way the queen did. But this is not a throne room. This is my blood.
The black blade rose, catching the firelight like a falling star. Takeshi's knuckles whitened on the hilt.
This is the moment I swore I would never hesitate. But he is not a target. He is my brother. He is the only family I have left.
The sword shook in his grip. Not from weakness, from a war inside him that no blade could settle. A single tear traced the path of an old scar and fell onto the black steel. The blade dipped. The tip pointed away from Sho's heart.
You will live.
Sho looked up, eyes wide. Not with fear, but with something he had forgotten he could feel. Hope. But mercy did not mean forgiveness. Not yet. The last wolf had not finished speaking.
You will dedicate the rest of your life to the peace you claim to want. No more shadows. No more secret dealings. Real work on open ground. I will be watching. I swear it, Takeshi. I swear on our parents' graves. Every breath I have left will build, not destroy.
Their forearms locked in a warrior's grip. A pact sealed not with forgiveness, but with a shared burden.
I will find every village and every wound and mend them. I will not fail you again. Fail me again, and there will be no second mercy. The dead are watching now, Sho. Live for them.
The firelight guttered as Takeshi released his grip. The pact had been made not of forgiveness, but of duty. Without a backward glance, Takeshi turned his back and walked to the door.
Brother, thank you.
Outside, the snow had stopped. The world was silent. The last wolf walked into the gray morning, leaving his brother alive inside. The hunt for the 11 was over. The watch over the 12th had begun, days after the cabin. Takeshi climbed a hill he knew too well. 11 wooden markers stood in the overgrown grass, their names eaten by weather.
Ren, Jin, Halen. All the names I never speak aloud. I buried them here the year after Red Pass, one by one.
He knelt and placed a single white wildflower at the foot of the central marker, the same bloom he had left at the ruined base.
It's done. The ones who ordered it are judged. The last one watches himself now.
He drew his black blade and pressed the tip into the earth before the markers. The steel stood upright, a silent witness.
Let this ground hold the rest. I am done carrying it.
He sheathed the blade. The weight that had driven him for 5 years had gone silent. He stood, the empty wind tugging his coat. For the first time in 5 years, no names burned in his mind. Without a backward glance, he turned and walked down the hillside into the gray morning.
I don't know where the road leads. That's enough for now.
Months later, he entered the port city of Halem. The guild there was smaller, its doors painted a faded blue. He stepped inside, hood low, and found the recruitment desk. A young clerk was sorting scrolls. She passed him a form. He filled it with only his name. No surname, no surname, no history. The clerk looked up, puzzled. Just Takeshi. No past contracts? He didn't answer. She hesitated, then stamped the paper. The guild's rules didn't require a past, only a signature. She handed him a wooden recruit badge, marked with the lowest rank. He turned it over in his palm. It weighed nothing compared to the blade at his hip in the common room. A young mercenary was boasting about the legendary black wolves. Takeshi listened, silent.
They talk of the dead as if they were gods. I was one of them. Now, I am just a name on a list.
The last wolf had become a ghost, not in death, but in life, and that was enough. Across the four kingdoms, the ripples of his quiet choice spread slowly, like water moving underground. In a modest hall, Queen Isadora sat without her crown, guiding two lords toward a trade agreement that would ease border tensions. In a sunlit classroom, a man who once shattered nations now taught children how to mend them. A report reached Takeshi, unsigned, but he knew who sent it. A dove drawn in the corner. The peace was holding.
He's keeping his word. Good?
Sho read the same report, a letter from the Queen, and allowed himself a rare smile. The Queen wrote to Sho, her pen steady, the seal of a dove, a symbol she had once only dreamed of using.
I am still a blade, but the war is over. For now.
At a negotiation table, four kingdoms signed a treaty brokered by the man who had once set them against each other. The last wolf watched the world he had helped save and found it was enough. The guild hall buzzed with the usual ale-soaked bravado. At the center, a fresh-faced recruit held court, spinning tales of the black wolves as if he'd been there, leaning in his usual spot. Takeshi listened. The wolf emblem on his shoulder stayed hidden under a fold of his coat. The boy's voice swelled, describing impossible feats, how the wolves could slay 100 men with a single swing, led by a demon with no heart.
They were just men. Ren wanted to open a bakery. Jin couldn't stop laughing at his own jokes. They'd hate these fairy tales.
The young mercenary glanced at Takeshi, saw a worn-out old recruit, and dismissed him with a snort. Takeshi closed his eyes. The noise of the room faded. He could almost smell the pine of the mountain cabin and feel the cold snow. A faint smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. Not at the story, but at the quiet inside him that no legend could touch. When he opened his eyes, the boy was still talking. The world hadn't changed, only Takeshi had. He pushed off the pillar. The sword clinked softly against the stone. Time to find his next contract. The last wolf walked through the hall, a ghost among the living, and no one saw him leave. Evening folded over Halem. The city hummed below, but on the ancient wall, Takeshi stood alone. He drew the black blade slowly. The steel sang its old, familiar song. No contract demanded it. No threat lay in the dark. He did it only for himself. For a long moment, he held the flat of the blade before his eyes, remembering. Then he lowered the tip toward the sea and let his arm fall slack. The blade slid home with a soft click, a sound he had heard 1,000 times, but never in peace.
Rest now.
He spoke to the 11, to the boy he once was, to the brother far away. The wind caught the whisper and carried it out over the darkening sea. The last wolf turned from the horizon and walked into the night, his heart, for the first time, quiet. Dawn broke. Takeshi pushed open the door of a dusty guild outpost. A contract waited. He signed without reading, traded his name for a wooden token. Outside, the road stretched east. The sun hit the faded wolf on his shoulder. He didn't look back. The door swung shut. Ahead, the world opened. The black blade rested at his side. No longer a curse, but a companion. He paused at a ridge. Somewhere beyond, his brother was building. So was he. He drew the sword one last time, caught the sunrise on the steel, then sheathed it with a click. He leaned the blade against an old oak. It stood alone, a silent sentinel. The sun climbed higher. The last wolf walked into the day, alone but not lost. The road went on.